All right, we're live. Welcome back to the God and Guns podcast, episode. And here I am. My show notes are not where they're supposed to be. Episode 215, 215, the God and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about intolerant, hate-filled people who censor free speech, or socialist, or Democrats, or communist. Same thing.
Same.
They want to thank the band. Sir, we want to thank the bandwidth sponsor, the Farms Radio Network, for hosting our content out there, so you guys can download it at your leisure.
Thank you, guys. Also, Crossbreed holsters. If you are carrying a gun, you should be carrying a Crossbreed, the most comfortable holster in the world. Check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
Ojai. That's for Springfield XDS.
There you go.
49. They're same dimensions outside. But any kind of Velcro, so it's a Velcro back, and then it's a Kydex front.
Is that the one for your pocket?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can put in a pocket holster, like a pocket. If you got Velcro pockets in your jackets, you've got them in. Talk, Doug, while I grab this. like he's like women's purses or this thing here.
Oh yeah,
like Uncle Mike's. It looks like a little Bible carrier, or whatever. You can stick it in there, so you can put your pistol in there and zip it up and carry your faux Bible to church. But it's really handy. They've got one that goes on the bedside, so the bedside stand. They've got them that goes in your car. You can use that Velcro on all those different attachment points. I've got cargo pants that have Velcro inside of them. I've got tactical vest that's got the Velcro, and you can stick it in there and zip it up, and it's secure. It's not bouncing around. The trigger's covered up, so it's safe. So that's a little bit about the Crossbreed. All right, this week's God and Gun activities, Doug. What have you been up to?
Let's see. This week, Sportsman's Daily Devotional, church this past Sunday, and let's see what else. What have I been doing otherwise? Of course, gun side everyday carry. I did get my bow out. So I did a little shooting this week. Bow season's less than I don't know, a couple of weeks now, and it'll be coming in. So I figured I'd get the bow out and do a little shooting. And I hadn't shot in probably almost a year, and first 3 arrows dead to bullseye at 30 yards, no problem. I was like, all right, that'll work. So I just kept shooting, getting the muscle back, man. Because I tell you, you don't realize, that motion.
Uh-huh.
You're not used to doing it, and you get a little sore after 15 or 20 arrows. So I shoot a few every day, let them go, have a good time. It was fun. I had a good time. I think I can still kill one.
That, though.
Huh?
You're doing it? Doing this?
Doing what?
Have you ever heard the song "Yank It Like a Chainsaw"? You not heard the song "Yank It Like a Chainsaw"?
Not that I know of. Not
Family Force 5. It's a semi-Christian group. I guess you got to be like 17 to 26 or something to know that group. But being a youth leader, I hear that song. Look.
Oh, I bet.
But the dance move is "Yank It Like a Chainsaw."
No, I hadn't. Maybe I'll put it on next time.
Nothing worse than the old guy acting like he's cool, right?
maybe when I'm out in the backyard this week shooting, I'll throw that on and get it going on.
I'd play it, but YouTube would shut us down right lickety split.
Oh, I'm sure.
They did last time. Shut her down right there, boy.
Shut her down.
Music playing background. Oh, I need to turn my phone on mute. I just thought about that.
But it felt good though. It's nice shoot. I love shooting a bow. It's just that's probably my favorite way to deer hunt. I love it. Oh, I went back. I was riding back on the backside of my property yesterday. Me and Winnie went out to feed the horses for my brother-in-law, who went up to see his grandyoungins up in Indiana. So I went out to feed the horse. I said, well, let's just drive back here and take a look. And we got a little bit of a plowed area up there where it's soft dirt, where he runs his horses barrel, train them for barrel racing, whatever. dude, I got a buck and a half coming across there, and I saw his tracks, and I saw his tracks down in the bottom when I was down up there the other day. So I probably won't shoot him with a bow because my property's not real wide, and he'd have a tendency to probably run on me if I shot him with a bow. So I'll probably wait till gun season and shoot him with that Henry 44 up close and personal, and that'll probably knock him down.
Probably. You and the neighbor get everything straightened out?
No, no, he he
Ongoing saga, huh?
yeah, he thinks I've done him dirty. So um, don't understand how he feels that way, but
Has he
whatever.
produced anything yet?
No, he just
He just
keeps.
tore your fences down and says he owns something that he doesn't have any legal proof that he owns.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much that's the way it is.
Yeah, I used to shoot people like that back in our younger days. No,
I know, right?
I heard about my grandparents saying, "Yeah, a guy used to put up new fence like every year, and every year he'd move it over 6 inches, move over six." He said, "Another 25, 30 years, he's going to own our place." He said, but the guy died, so it stopped the problem. Oh well. All right. So has that got your gun and gun stuff?
That's it for me, man. How about you? What you been up to?
How's your back, by the way? You were like still aching in bad shape last time I
Man,
talked to
I'm
you.
100% now. I'm back to normal, so
Good
I
deal.
don't ever want that again.
No, back is no fun. Back pain, uh, neck back pain, lower back pain. All pain's bad, but it's really bad. All right. Let's see. I'm halfway through my most for his highest 30-day plan on the Bible.com. And I think I've got 1 day left of how to neighbor. It's a 10-day devotional. Enjoying both of those. They're both sort of short devotionals, so I'm doing two at one time uh, instead of just screaming through one of them. But it's two different perspectives, and so it's good. I enjoy it. Did church security last Sunday. I think what all happened in the morning, and because one of the guys was able to make it, and they had at the worship service, which was good. I hadn't been in the worship service for she was like 3 weeks or so before that. I've been serving a lot in security. Um, we had men's prayer breakfast this morning. If you guys have watched Facebook Live, uh,
I saw that.
Gunner and I went down to men's prayer breakfast down at our church in Glasgow, and then I've been taking care of my grandmother. That's what knocked us out last week because my uncle, his wife, had a seizure slash diabetic coma that put her in the hospital for over a week. And he was the caretaker, is the caretaker of my grandmother, and he was full time taking care of his wife. So I had been running down and trying to watch and take care of her as much as possible because all the grandkids are busy with jobs, and I was the only one that had a freer schedule, only one that's semi-retired. So I spent a lot of time taking care of the last couple weeks, and it interfered both times that I was going to try to record last week. So I apologize that but life gets in the way. That's the way things go. So the aunt's out of the hospital. Grandmother's went ahead and moved into assisted living because it was just too much for my uncle, and with all the things going on with my aunt. So that was the God side, pretty much. We of course daily devotional reading. Ever since I did that fast last week, we recorded, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. I told you guys I'd done a 4 day fast. Ever since that fast, I've just found myself waking up every morning about 4 or 5 o'clock and reading the Bible and going deeper, and just my prayer life has really gotten a lot more focused, and it's been really good for me. I may do another fast, another week or so. My digestive system took a battle there when I came back online. I didn't do it right, so it was a uneasy first week back coming off the fast. I've learned some things, and we'll do things a little bit differently. On the gun side, of course, daily carry. I carry everywhere all the time. Period. And I'm trading some pistols for a 1966 International Scout 800. I showed you some pictures, I think.
It was it's nice.
Yeah, I went to go switch the title over, and the dude didn't have the title. So he had a title, but it hadn't been transferred into his name. So I said, "Hey, go back, get the title straightened out, and then we'll do the deal." He's like, "Okay." So he's been working diligently on that since I was supposed to trade Monday, but he has gotten all everything he needs now, except for the previous guy he bought it from day to go meet him at the courthouse. As soon as that happens, then I'll be the proud owner of a 1966 International Scout. I've been wanting one of those for forever, and this was just too good of a deal. He was wanting to trade for some guns, and we know mutual people, and so his post showed up on my link and up on my feed, and so got to know him. Nice guy. He just has little kids and big expenses and no money to spend on that kind of stuff or no time. You know, as when you get little kids, you don't have any time or any money. Um,
Hmm.
Once they get old enough, then you're too tired to mess with it. And I'm hoping that between Gunner and I, we can knock it out. And it's got a couple of rust issues. As any international scout that's 50 years old is going to, or 52 years old is going to have problems with the rust, but nothing that's major. The frame's good. Most of the body's good. The floor's already been done. Um, the back floor's already been done. The hood and everything is pretty good shape. There's a couple places in the oh rocker panels. Rocker panels gonna have to go, but you can buy a new set of rocker panels for $90 for the pair. And my brother-in-law is a welder, and my neighbor is a body guy, and my brother-in-law's like rebuilt a couple of these things, and so he knows all about them. So I'm gonna pick his brain and bug him until he helps me get get her going. But I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Reading through, I'm about 90% done with Great State, The Divide by Shelby Gallagher. I've promised her that we'd have her and Glenn Tate on as soon as I got finished. And I've pushed this week. I've tried to read all of it, but just so many distractions. And then uh, still working on my ARRL extra class license, reading through that manual, watching some YouTube videos that correspond with that manual, and so taking while all this junk still in my head. So that was my guiding guns. EDC. Today I was carrying my old Glock 30S.
Old
I,
Faithful.
I really like that big old 45, and I like these Trigicon HD sights. I don't know if you guys can line up without shooting myself here. It's empty. I'll show you in a second, but it's empty. You guys can see the chamber. There's no bullets in there. I can put a flag in if I don't knock everything off my table. But I just really like this. I really like it. It's just such a natural point for my hand. I find that my hand it comes around too far on the 19, um, and I'm always cutting my hand on my fingernails because of the way that 19 digs into my hand. When I shoot more than 50 to 6, 50 to 100 rounds, those nails, even though I keep them trimmed short, dig into my hands. And so with this 45, that bigger grip, I don't have that problem. It just lays right in that. It's just a natural pointer for me. And the more I've read, I mean, I've been shooting pistols forever, but the more I read, the more I've read, uh, you got to find the gun that fits your hand. And when you do that, you're going to be a better shooter. So I really, really like the Glock 30S, and some of you guys have got them. Maybe on my recommendation, I know a couple of you guys had said, let me know how you like it. Way back, I guess this was probably purchased 3 or 4 years ago, and went to that 19. Guess what? A year and a half, 2 years ago,
Hmm.
we went to the 19s. I've got this sword slinger leather outside the waistband holster. It's got the Bulwarks Academy alumni logo on it. So when you are alumni of the Bulwarks Gun Academy, you get to display their stuff. They got me a cross on this side. Handmade holster by Sword Slingers. So if you can get up there, all hand stitched.
Purdy.
And it's got a little cross on the back. Uh, and I met them through the guy who makes these holsters. I met him through Bulwarks because his dad lives here in Kentucky and around the edge of Tennessee, and attends a lot of classes that I've taken, and got hooked up with him. So that was what I was carrying today. Carry a spare Glock 21 mag. So I've got a 13 round backup mag and a crossbreed Gideon, and then the usual other suspects that you guys have heard about. What you got?
I have Old Faithful, my Glock 19,
Gen 4.
Gen. Yes, this is a Gen 4. I was thinking about my 23 when you said that, and I'm like, no, that's a 3. But yes, this is a 4.
That is a 4.
And I am like you. I do like the 9 a lot.
I do.
But I tell you what, I like my 21 too in the 45. It's just I'm like you. It's beefier in your hand, but I don't have the problem that you do. But I do like that 30 because you had it down here with you. We were out at the range shooting one day,
Yeah.
and I shot it,
Yeah.
and it shot nice.
Yeah, I love the way it shoots. I'm dead on accurate with it. It's not any fault of the gun that I went to the 19. It's just the more classes I went to, the more people are suggesting the 19 for the higher capacity and the improvements in the 9mm round. But I just really I like the recoil of a 45.
Mm-hmm.
Not so snappy. It's just more secure, and seems like my follow up shots are just nice and smooth, more accurate. Whereas the 9 wants to whip a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it, but if those of you shoot a lot and different calibers, you know what I'm talking about. But I just really enjoy the gun, so I think I'm going back. I'll go ahead and move my light over to it because the light that I've got the Surefire. Uh, which light is it on? The was it X01, XC01, XC.
Did you have a Viridian on that at one time?
I did have a Viridian, but the only trouble with the Viridian is that I could never get a holster manufacturer that could put the magnets where they needed to be, so it would activate when it came out. And Viridian gave a holster with the light laser combo, and the gun just bounced around and it was sort of like a general size holster.
Got like a safari holster or something, one size fits all.
It was a Kydex holster. It was sort of like a Blackhawk holster with a retention clip. The only problem, it just wasn't the right. It was like trying to cover too many different pistols, and so it didn't really set it. It was secure, but it wasn't quiet. It would rattle around, and it stuck out too far, and I could never. I had Shannon made me a couple of different holsters for it, but we just never couldn't get the magnets secured in the right spot where they would stay, so that when you pulled the holster out, it worked like it was intended to. And so, Shannon from the Works Holsters, WRX holster, but he had some great holsters. We just couldn't get it to work, and Crossbreed has not offered that option yet. And they were going to start offering different light options, but I haven't talked to Murray to see what's going on, if they've actually gotten very far with that yet. He's got a new belt that's supposed to be sending me out. He told me back at when they were up here in Louisville at the USCCA conference or convention, where everything was up in Louisville. He said he was going to be sending me a holster this summer that they were working on, It's supposed to be like the strongest holster they've ever made, and strongest holster, strongest belt. Supposed to be sending me a belt that's supposed to be the strongest belt they've ever made, and he wanted me to try it out and see if I could break it.
Huh.
I said, "Oh, gee, thanks, man. I appreciate that." But I'm hoping to get that soon. I'm going to need to get a new Glock 30 holster because my old one is toast. I think it was like 2, 3 years old, and then it's practically the same size as the 19 Glock 30s. I mean, for all other than just a slightly wider grip. The slide is the slide from a single stack Glock 36, so it's very narrow at the top, a lot more narrow, closer to the dimensions of a Glock 19. But all my Glock 19 holsters will hold the Glock 30s. So, but my Glock 19 holster is getting the end of its lifetime too. I mean, if you wear a holster every day, all weather, they last maybe a year and a half, 2 years,
Right.
and then they're just getting too weak. I mean, I don't care what you make them out of, unless you make them out of titanium or something. But any kind of material that's going to mold to your body, it's gonna wear out over time. Um, so I'm doing good. I think I've got a year and a half in this holster now that I'm wearing, and it's starting to get to that point where it needs a new it needs to be put up for retirement. All right, so you
Is
got
that the
some
ones you got? Is that the ones you got at the NRA 2 years ago?
maybe I guess it is 2 years old.
Yeah, that was in Louisville, right?
Yep, I've been wearing it every day since. It's that Founder series, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I have too.
yeah, I wear it. I mean, from the time I get up and out of bed, put on a pair of pants, till the time I go back to bed and take my pants off, it's on me every day, all day. Unless I'm, going and getting in the shower, or getting in bed for the night, it's that gun holster is on me all the time. So it's I guess it's held up better than the previous ones because it's not gotten loose. It's just breaking down. It's just lived its life.
I'm still doing. I'm still doing pretty good. Well, not pretty good. It's doing really good, and
Yeah, you don't wear your
but I
helmet.
don't. I don't carry my 21 that often. So my 19 gets a pretty good workout on it. But I'm always switching back and forth from the paddle holster to it, depending on if I'm working or not. So it's easy to take in and out. But
Yeah.
um, when I got when I have the paddle holster on, I have the Glock 23 sitting in the other holster.
Hmm.
I mean it's perfect fit. So, but I'm never going to carry that 23. I'm just not a big 40 fan anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's 40's getting expensive again because it's just not that many people buying it, and police departments have gone away from it for the most part. Most of your military guys never went to it, so it's dying out. The only
Right.
bad news about that is that the 10 millimeter price is going to go up because 40 and 10 millimeter have a lot of similarities. So the bullets are going to be, when they start producing less of them, the 10 millimeter bullets are going to be more expensive. But I'm reloading those anyway. I've got Puff and Puff Senior behind me over. See him back there.
I'm in the room with my entire arsenal tonight.
Oh
So
yeah, in my
I'm,
dirty
I'm
shirt.
I had to record out of a different, huh?
In my dirty shirt.
And I was looking, you raised up there something. I think we actually we did not
No, we didn't plan that.
we did not plan that, but we're both wearing the Axles and Tacticals today.
Yeah, I love the shirt.
Which,
Uh,
speaking of the axe, there it is, with its
yeah, guns.
God and guns.
Yeah, several of you've let us know that you want to go ahead and get magazines, so we will try to get those rolling.
So I got in touch with Bill or Bill Dyer, winner of one of them. The other gentleman, Danny South. I cannot get a hold of him. I can't. He's not answering me on Messenger, and he doesn't apparently get on Facebook very often. I think his last post was like the 1st of July or something. So I'm trying to get a hold of him and let him know he won. But um, maybe if you didn't get a hold of me here this week, I'm probably we're just going to re-gift that one to somebody else.
So you're gonna give him until when?
I give him
Give
I
him
give him
official.
till we record again. If he doesn't, I'll give it away again. I'll give it to somebody else.
Okay, so you got until this time next show, which who knows when that will be.
Yeah. See, hey,
Hopefully it'll be next Thursday or no later than Saturday of next week that we will be back recording. So if any of you all know him, you might want to let him know. Hey man, you wanted something, you need to get back in touch with him.
hey, did I ever show you that palmetto that I picked up?
Um, didn't you have that when I stopped in last time?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Hey, so that's what a God and Guns
yeah.
mag looks like when on the test run. So they threw that one in for free. So hey, I
Cool.
got an extra one. So as long as I'm carrying it down like that, it looks like it's straight.
Cool.
But
Um, since we're doing show and tell,
show and tell. I like show and tell.
I like my.
That's not a gun.
I know, but it's this is cool. Almost. Yaesu FTD2R/DE. I don't know what all those things mean, but I know that there's some kind of difference between them. But I am really starting to figure this stuff out. I'm going to be dangerous before long. I've got me a jumbo spot. It's not plugged up right now because it interferes with our recording because I was hitting all kinds of electronic noise before we started. But that thing can go mobile and hotspot to your phone. And then you can anywhere within about 4 or 5 miles line of sight. With this, I can talk to anywhere in the world using Yaesu System Fusion or C4 FM and something that has something to do with Wires X, which is a Yaesu system. Or I can go through System Fusion and connect to DMR reflectors and talk over DMR. And I think I sound like I think I know what I'm saying, but really I'm saying a lot of things that are theory. But I'm getting closer and closer to making theory reality as I've learned how to do this stuff. Let's see. Get an all Kydex one. No way it would wear out. I've got some all Kydex ones, and yes, they do wear out, Tim. Uh, I'm reading comments here. Uh, I got some NSR tactical. I've got some of the Works holsters, Shan's holsters, and I have wore them out. Uh, I wear out everything, but but as far as comfortability and wearing it concealed, I would take a crossbreed over any all Kydex holster all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. Or outside the waistband, leather holster is very comfortable as well. But for carrying concealed, unless you want to carry wear an overgarment, and it's a little hard to do in Florida when it's 100 degrees, or Kentucky when it's 100% humidity and 95 degrees, you will melt. Um, I uh, I like all Kydex if I'm going to a class, but see, they're always like you need an all Kydex holster for class, but I don't carry in an all Kydex holster. I carry in a hybrid holster because
Why do they require you to have
it is
all
what's
kydex
comfortable.
at a class for?
Some of them have these. I guess when they first started, everybody and their brother was making hybrid holsters back 10, 15 years ago. Um, when Crossbreed started making theirs, like every garage monkey that had some leather and Kydex in the oven was making their own holsters, and people were showing up these classes, and the pistols were falling out, or when they went in there, the Kydex was too tight. It was grabbing triggers, or they were so there was a lot of people that were very leery of the original hybrid holsters. Um, the all Kydex holsters have the same ability to be a problem, but the thought is that it's a better fit. But as far as comfortability for me, is more important since I'll carry a gun everywhere, all day, every day, and I don't have any trouble reaching, clearing, and I don't mind buying a new holster every 2, 3 years.
Mm-mm.
So 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. My first holster I bought was before I ever heard of crossbreed was a well, not my first holster, but my first hybrid holster was a Blue Ridge holster. And it was some dude out of his garage down in Tennessee somewhere had had made some that some people I respected reviewed well, and so I got one of those, and it did well until the hardware failed. Um, but it was a very comfortable holster, and then it was I mean it was a whole lot like crossbreed. But then since I went to crossbreed, I haven't really looked for another holster. I mean, yeah, people sent me holsters. I've tried them. There are other holsters that are more practical for a certain carry. Some other carry options, but as far as just comfortable, quality, great customer service, that's why I just stick with crossbreed.
I wish crossbreed. We need to bring it up to them and make it like the God and Guns holster or something. I wish they would. I wish they would make a paddle holster that you could take on and off really quick.
I do really well with putting this super tuck on and off. I don't really have any trouble. Loosen the belt up a notch or two, slide it in, just put the clips over the belt and push down. It snaps right in place. So I just don't like the way paddle holsters sort of rock tilt back and forth. They don't really lock in as good. Um, they sort of dig into me too much. Uh, I don't like them as much, but I really haven't had any trouble. Once you get broke in, it's pretty easy to slide in. You just loose up enough that you can get it fit between your pants and your belly or your side or whatever. And those clips, one of the things I liked most about crossbreed is the clips aren't sharp. Almost every
Right.
metal clip on holsters is sharp, will cut you open like a knife. I don't know how many times I've been cut open by some kind of alien stuff and
Hmm.
other cheap holsters that were sent to me with metal clips. And I've never gotten cut. I've never gotten hurt on the metal clips, and I have a little bit of numbness in my fingers due to that neck injury, due to that weightlifting accident, and so I have a little numbness there, and I'm prone to cut my fingers and stuff like that because I can't feel the pressure. So I have to be careful. And never been cut, never been hurt by a crossbreed clip. All right, so you've got us a joke. What's our joke?
Uh, Let me flip over to the jokes here. So, Bob left work one Friday evening, but it was payday, so he instead of going home, he stayed out the entire weekend with his buddies and spent his entire paycheck. When he finally appeared at home on Sunday night, he was confronted by his angry wife and was badgered to for nearly 2 hours. Finally, his wife stopped the nagging and said to him, "How would you like it if you didn't see me for 2 or 3 days?" He replied, "Well, that would be fine with me." Monday went by and he couldn't see he didn't see his wife. Tuesday and Wednesday came and went, and the same results. But on Thursday, the swelling went down just enough that he could just barely see her out of the corner of his eye. Laid him out.
Lady man. Yeah, back talking to the wife doesn't do very good usually.
No, it's futile.
Mm, just
Oh,
stay
speaking of
focused.
wives, before we move on, I had it in the show notes. My wife's birthday is Tuesday, so we won't be recording again by then. So I just want to wish her a happy birthday. It's a day or two early, but still, happy birthday, honey.
And my wife's birthday was Thursday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and I didn't wish her happy birthday on Facebook, so I got in trouble. But
Oh,
no,
I can't believe you didn't
I
do it.
didn't get in trouble. But we did. The kids and I took her out for a nice steak dinner. Her favorite place to get steak, Texas Roadhouse. She really likes their fillet there, so we went
You didn't
there.
make it Facebook official.
Yeah, yeah. So she got her steak, and I didn't get her anything I should have got her because we just put a pull on her in, and we've been working at this pull on her for about since May.
Your pull liner?
We've had 5 different companies that we try to get come up quoted. Some of them said they came and measured, and we never saw them, and they had prices in the $7,000 to $8,000 range.
Ooh,
We had prices in the $3,000 range, and they never came and measured it. And we had people that said they can't help it if they're so busy, and then we just have to wink. That didn't go over too well. And then we had someone show up and measure it, and we gave them the order, and it came in. It was the wrong size, and he blamed them, and they blamed him. I said, I don't care which one you made the mistake. I want the right size thing. So a week later, he came back with another one, and it supposedly fits. I'm still a little dubious to it. It's in. We finally got up and going. So that was her birthday present for now.
Yay.
The pool's running, and for the most part, there's some kind of a air issue. I got to find out. There's some air getting in the system somewhere. So that'll be something I have to work on after church tomorrow, I guess.
Air getting in the line.
Yeah, it's coming out through the pump and back into the pool, oil air bubbles. So I don't know exactly where, somewhere in there. But we've had two different companies working on it since last year, and nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. So I'm just gonna figure out what it is. All right, so Bible verse. Bible verse for today is coming from Acts 7, verses 54 through 59. Now, when they had heard these things, they were enraged, and they ground their teeth at him. But he was full of the Holy Spirit, gazed into heaven, and saw the glory of God, and Jesus standing at the right hand of God. And he said, Behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God. But they cried out with a loud voice, and stopped up their ears, and rushed together at him. And then they cast him out of the city, and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their garments at the feet of the young man named Saul, who later becomes Paul. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. So this is the stoning of Stephen, and what we're talking about, when they heard these things. Well, what they heard was the truth. They didn't want to hear the truth. They heard the gospel message that Stephen proclaimed, and then he told how that they had killed Jesus, and they didn't want to hear it. So they stuck their fingers in the ears, and they started yelling and screaming, and took him outside and killed him with rocks. Does that sound like something you might hear in the news today? So whenever we're confronted with our sin, where we're confronted with the failure of our ideas, whenever those things occur, is the heart of man to want to kill, to steal, destroy, right? But here with Stephen, we see that Stephen is following the commandment that God had given, that he go out and proclaim the Great Commission, the going out into all the world and spreading the gospel, baptizing them. And when they heard the message, and when Stephen confronted them with the fact that they rejected the Messiah, they became enraged. So when you and I do things that enrage people, they're going to get mad. They're going to not listen. They're going to attack. And so we're going to have to be willing to be like Stephen, even to the being martyred, but hold true to the gospel and speak in truth and speak in love. I don't, sometimes I'm thinking Stephen might have went a little bit too far there. But who am I to judge Stephen, right? But that he, confronted them with the fact that they killed their Messiah that they were supposed to be looking for. And it just reminds me that people will hold on to their belief even in the face of facts, even in the face of, I'm getting tangled up with my microphone here. I feel like I just got bit by a spider. But they will hold on to those beliefs, and they will even stop up their ears so they can't hear what you have to say to them. They may mentally turn you off, but they would rather censor you. They would rather stop you from saying what you're saying. So if you're a believer, be ready for that. Be ready to have enraged people, because That's where we're headed as a society. When we aren't allowed to even speak, when we aren't allowed to even share scripture, when we aren't allowed to speak the truth according to scripture, we're heading to those days. So we need to be prepared for that. So as we see here, Saul, if you read on in other verses, gave his approval. He gave his thumbs up. Hey, stoning Stephen, good thing. Then Saul has his encounter with God on the road to Damascus, where he is blinded and has to be led by other people. And then he is able to receive his sight after he listens to God tell him what he wants him to do. So it's amazing how God uses people, even the most evil people, to do what he wants to do. And it's amazing how God uses even the simplest of people, people who have not spent their life going to seminary, or spent their life going to special education, to learn this gospel message, because the gospel message is simple. We have a problem. It's sin. It separates us from God. We're separated from God at birth. Before we were even born, we're separated from God because of the sin, guilt of Adam that is down on every person. And the only redemption is the redemption of the blood of the Lamb, which is Jesus. That's the only price that's acceptable by God, that we might be forgiven for our sins. And it's not by our works, it's not by our good deeds, it's not by us sharing the gospel, it's by our faith that Christ is the Son of God and that he is the propitiation of our sin. He is the one who is able to pay that price that we can't pay. That's the gospel. If we believe in him, believe he is the Son of God, believe that he is uh, our Lord and Savior, and ask him to let us follow him, right? Uh, then we might be saved. And it's not a one-time saying, it's not a one-time prayer, it's a commitment that you're going to follow Jesus every day. It's a daily dying to yourself and living for him commitment. So that's the gospel message. So when Stephen tells the people that, they already had this system established where they were looked up to because they were the Pharisees or the Sadducees, because they obeyed the law in front of people out in the open, but their hearts were not obeying God. They were giving lip service and they were dressing nice and they were pulling up the nicest Lexus carts and nicest wearing the nicest Gucci gear, robes and stuff like that at the synagogue, at the temple. But when God was judging their heart, didn't do them a lot of good. God judges your thoughts. He doesn't judge your actions. He judges what you're thinking. So thinking you're hiding something from God is foolishness. You're not hiding anything from God. You can hide from people, but God knows your heart, and you'll always have that guilt. So confess your sin, confess it quickly, confess it totally, confess it publicly, because any sin in your life that's unconfessed is holding you bondage. It's holding you from being able to do what God wants you to do. It's holding you in fear of being found out. It's holding you from being able to accomplish that which God wants to do in your life. And so I just encourage you guys, if you haven't turned to Jesus as the only answer to your question, the only answer to your problem, is that without Jesus, we are eternally separated from God and we will go to hell. And that you confess your sin so that the devil can be the accuser and accuse you of your sin, keeping you unproductive and in fear, because you should have no fear as a believer. If you've confessed your sin, there should be no fear in your life. You should be the most bold and fearless person there is. So while I still can say these kind of things on YouTube, I'm, I'm going to tell you, you need to hear it. And if you get mad and you put your fingers in your ears and you don't want to listen, then you'll be just like the Sadducees and the Pharisees. And if you choose to kill me and I get heaven, and what better reward than that, right? So that's Acts 7, verses 54 through 59, reading from the ESV. Anything you want to jump in there with, Doug? Why, fix myself? I can't hear you, Doug. Are you still there? Doug. I've got no audio, Doug. Well, if you guys can.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear Doug.
There we are.
There's Doug. So you got anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I did just a minute ago, and apparently you didn't hear me.
No, I didn't hear your audio.
No, I was just going to say when you was making the comment about guys, you can hide stuff from people, but you can't hide stuff from God, and that's 100% true. That ain't going to happen.
Mm-mm. It comes out when you don't want to, too.
Yeah.
If you don't confess it, it's going to get dropped on you right when you don't want to.
You might as well go ahead and get it over with and be done. It's kind of like when we were growing up, you knew you did something bad and you just hope Dad didn't find out about it. And when he came to you and confronted you about it, you're like, I should have just told him right at the get-go.
It'd been a lot easier, wouldn't it? A lot less painful.
Me and the I don't know if I ever told you this. Me and Bobby, the preacher's son, he was over at the house one day, and we decided we was going to have a BB gun war. My mom and dad wasn't there, and we went outside. We made a rule now. I mean, we was being safe. No shooting above the belt. Legs and hind end was all you could shoot at. Little Red Riders. We had a good time. Put the BB guns back up. Not a problem. And I lived out in the country, so there wasn't a whole lot of people around. Man, my mom and dad got home. My dad walked in the house, and we was in the living room watching TV, and first thing he said, he looked right at me, he goes, "Yes or no? Will y'all shoot each other with BB guns today?" My jaw just dropped. I was like, how does he know this? And I knew I was busted in because there wasn't nobody around. And it was probably 3 years before he told me who actually narked on me.
I got a couple guesses.
Yeah.
One's to the east and one's to the west.
Yep. And one of them saw us playing around and told my dad.
Stole your joy.
It stole my joy.
We had that when I was, 6 or 7. My neighbor, John Jones. Yep, that was his name. And I got a doctor, chiropractor, John Jones, not related. But he, I was going to play his house, and when I was walking over there, and he said to bring my BB gun. So me and my dog, we headed over towards his house, and then between our houses there was this big pine thicket, and what it was back in the day when you went to school, elementary school, they gave you little pine trees at the end of the year. You took home and planted, and he had older brother, older sister, and then himself, and they had been through years and then there was another neighbor and so they all planted these trees down this bottom, this little valley. So there was like 30, 40 pine trees down there, and I was walking through, and all of a sudden my dog yelped, and I turned around, looked at the dog, and he's tail tucked, and he went running under a tree. Next thing I know, I get hit inside my leg. And I'm like, what in the world? And I look up and I see the neighbor and my friend John Jones shooting at me with BB guns. So I dive under a tree, and I crawl and I crawl and I crawl and I crawl and get in between the two of them. And I got up in between the two of them there at the base of this little tree, or it's a pretty good sized tree. And I was hidden on both sides, and I would shoot one and I'd lay down. And he turned and looked, and so he'd like, what? Like, did you shoot me? He said, I didn't shoot you. And then they'd be looking out there for me. My dog was out in the grass wandering around, yupping. He was out in the tall grass, and they were shooting at the dog all the time, thinking I was the dog. So I'd raise up and I'd shoot the other one. And I'd lay back down, back behind this tree. And then before long, man, they were both into it. They were both shooting each other.
Uh huh.
And I just crawled back out, went back home.
Heck yeah.
Valley of the Warriors. I read a little paper about that in college. It was pretty funny. All right, so our main topic. Enough of the personal stories. Uh, Intolerant people censor. Have we seen people being censored here recently? You notice that in the news? Let's see.
A lot, huh?
A lot. YouTube channels taken down. Apple has been taking down people's apps. Excuse me. We've had all kinds of what was it? Alex Jones has been pretty much. They tried to dehumanize him, and they've demonetized everything of his. They deplatformed him. They've even been attacking his own websites, trying to take those down. And Alex Jones is no saint. Now, I'm not defending Alex Jones. He can stand on his own feet, but he was an alternative news source to the lies that we're hearing from the mainstream media.
Yeah.
But you're seeing this more and more and more that leftist, communist, socialist, they can't win debates and arguments, so they use emotion. If they can't get you emotionally stirred up and or trying to make you feel guilty, calling you a racist or trying to make you feel, uh, being a hate group, whatever the hate group means. Proclaiming gospel is not hate; it's proclaiming truth. But they're going to claim it's hate because it offends their sin life, what they choose to do. Not that they are born into, what they choose to do. Whatever sin is, you want to protect it if you want to try to hold on to it. So they're sort of stopping up their ears. But not only do they want to stop up their own ears, they want to stop up everyone else's ears. They don't want anyone to hear an opposing view to them.
Oh no.
So is that the America that we have inherited? Or is that the America we're going to leave to our children? If you can't defend your ideas based upon fact and reason, then they're bad ideas. Then they're emotions. Then they're choices, right? They're not something that you can sit there and say, well, these stand on their own merit. Because I mean, we could look back at the great 20th century of progress by the communist and the socialist and how much they've improved the world. You can look back at the bloodshed. They always trying to call right wing people as fascist. Well, fascism is not part of the right wing. It never has been. It's part of the socialist wing. The Nazi Party is the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany. That's what it means. That's fascism. That's if they don't like what you're saying about them, they will kill you. They will put you in prison. They will murder you. They will put you in concentration camps. That is what people who have no fear of man or God do. And so one of the things that I posted today is that socialism is not a Christian based principle. They're saying, oh, it's, Jesus told us to share. Jesus told us to share as a body of believers. He told us to be charitable personally. He didn't tell us that the state was going to seize our funds at the end of a barrel of a gun and give it to somebody else. That's not Christian charity. That is socialism / communism / totalitarianism. That is where a government is deciding that it's going to take your wealth and give it to someone else. That is theft.
Yeah.
That's stealing. That's not the same thing as willingly someone giving to the church for charitable activities or giving to an individual to help them out, as we see in the Good Samaritan. Good Samaritan is an example of someone's not even a Jewish person, right? Their descendants were half Jewish, most likely, but they were looked down upon by the Jewish people of the day. And the Good Samaritan saw a person who had gotten robbed and beat up and was laid in the road, bloody and beaten. Comes along, helps him, bandages him up, puts some oil on his wounds, takes him to a hotel and puts him up the hotel and tells the The innkeeper, hey, take care of him, help him to get well, and when I come back, I'll pay the bill. And so he did. That is example of charity that's called for by Jesus in the New Testament. It was you're supposed to be charitable even in the in the Old Testament. It talked about how they should bless people who were in their country, aliens in their country, and help them. But that wasn't a state run activity. That was an individual calling to show God's love by being charitable to them. So don't get hoodwinked into this bunch of socialist garbage that's saying that, well, we're just doing like Jesus. No, they're taking God out of everything. The schools are taking it out of every public access that they can. They're censoring. They're trying to put people out of business who are Christian uh, business people. They're trying to silence their voices. They're trying to remove every aspect of God. So don't fall for that garbage that, oh, we're just doing like Jesus called us to do, because they're not doing the works of Jesus. They're doing the works of their father, Satan. And so we want to make sure that we don't let them take that stand, that false lying stand. But on the other hand, we are to be charitable. And the reason that these people have a foothold, the reason that the church is in such shape it is in, is because we have allowed the government to substitute itself as God by taking funds and giving them away. When you do that, you're creating a false God that people look up to. And the government was never by the Constitution granted permission to do charitable work. That was strictly ordained to be from the church, from the believer, from the local community. And when we had advocated our responsibility and let government take that role so that they can empower themselves, because make no mistake, the whole reason that there's any kind of welfare programs is so that the politicians could ingratiate themselves with voters who would support them for giving them stuff.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason that charity was not supposed to be a part of the Constitution. It was uh, part of the local community, a part of the family was supposed to take care of that, part that the church was supposed to take care of that, part that the believers were to help people in their time of need and point them to God, not point them to themselves, not point them to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party or to the whatever party. It was so that people would turn to God for their needs through the people of the church, through the just believers in general, and through their own families, that they would be helped. So a lot of that is why the government is so bloated and out of control today, is because we have evil people who get into the government and want to empower themselves by doing these things of giving away stuff that they don't own. They're giving away wealth that they have not created and have no right to. And they have printed money to keep these systems propped up, to the point now where we're all playing with monopoly money and most people don't know it. But that's a whole nother subject for another day.
Mm-hmm.
So we see here, I posted the article and I'll put the links here in the show note. But just if you look back at the socialist and their propaganda, that they're for the people. Well, they're only for the people that aren't smart enough to read any kind of history about what happens when you have socialists in charge of you. They are Socialists are just pretty much communists that just are trying to put a nice lipstick and mascara on, right?
A happy spin on it.
Yeah, happy spin. Oh, this is it's just helping out the poor and downtrodden. Well, the poor and downtrodden aren't supposed to be helped by the government. Now, that can be a safety net of, like, they haul you to the hospital or they give you some food, but they're not supposed to be on the doyle, sitting there every month getting a check, not doing anything. I
That's
understand. I understand people are hurting and people get sick, but charity goes to the church, and the church should be taking that responsibility. And the church has advocated its responsibility in a lot of those situations, so that they can be land based. But moreover, the people don't want to have to accept the charity of the church. They want to be able to demand charity from the government, and so.
Have
It,
you? I
go
don't
ahead.
know if you've seen. I can't think of her. What's her name? What's her name? Cortez.
Yeah.
That socialist that won up in New York. Um, with they only had like 15,000 people voted. Out of I don't know what 350,000 registered voters.
Yeah.
But if you watch anything she puts out, you can see it's not good. All she wants to do is take from you to give to people that aren't willing to get up and go get it themselves.
She's gotten such a bad report, even from the mainstream media, that what is it? Asia Ocasio Cortez? Is that her
Yeah,
name?
I don't know what
I've
Cortez. I
got
think is her
well,
last
I've
name.
got her as one of the links here because she's I mean she's pro socialist, big
Oh
time.
yeah.
She's so socialist that even Bernie Sanders says, "Oh man, she's crazy."
Hey, well, everywhere that she has went to help out a socialist or Democrat
Candidate.
or whoever that
Uh,
she's campaigning for has been trounced
yeah,
every time.
yeah.
She had a new one this morning. I was watching the news this morning. I was cracking up that she wants to take all these high rent, high dollar homes that people aren't living in currently. They're selling them,
Vacation
whatever.
home.
Yeah, and turn them into housing for homeless people, and just take your house. Just take it.
Yeah. Well, when you don't understand the "thou shalt not steal" uh, portion there, well, they got lots of money. They don't need it. You don't know what they got. It's none of your business. You can't take people's stuff just because you want it or you think there's a need for it. But that's a whole other subject. But I put an article in here today. She's barred the press from reporting on her town halls and stuff. So they're not even letting the reporters now, mainstream reporters, into the town hall because she's such an idiot. Not idiot.
She
She's
is.
so well uninformed. Let's put it that way. She's uninformed.
No, I think you had it right first go round.
Yeah, God tells us not to call people fools. So I'll just say she's not informed. She's ignorant. Uh,
Ignorant.
ignorant, ignorant. And but that was an article I posted in there about socialism. I mean, she can't even articulate her own ideas. She just wants to try to get votes by promising people something for nothing or something that they can get by giving up more and more of their freedom. When you give people like this power, you're giving away your freedom, your children's futures, your children's future income is being destroyed, decimated. I mean, we're probably 5 generations deep in the debt already. Even if Trump, you know, turns this thing around 100%, it's still going to take a long time to get out of this massive amount of debt that's been incurred in the last 12 years. But there's another article in here about China cracking down. I mean, China is communist. They're drag netting and catching people that are saying things anything against the government or saying anything religious, and they're starting to crack down on that. These are the kinds of people who are socialists slash communists slash progressives slash militant leftist. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they want to put you in a concentration camp or worse, or in the ground, most likely. I mean, like Bill Ayers, Obama's mentor, the
Yeah.
Weatherman Underground, they wanted to kill 50 million Americans. 50 million. That was the Christians and gun owners, pretty much, is what Bill Ayers was after. That's, the mentor of not Bill, of Obama. The one who he announced his candidacy for the senator of Illinois at Bill Ayers' home, Weatherman Underground, who was terrorist back in the '60s, blowing up police stations and banks, all kinds of stuff. They're radical communists.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to exist. If you're a believer, if you're a gun owner, or if you're a patriotic American. And so they've spent the last 40 years in the colleges indoctrinating a bunch of kids that socialism is good. And if you don't refute that and show them examples, they're probably at the point now where they're going to stop up their ears and run and screaming and try to kill you. That's what happens when you get indoctrinated with lies. Uh, but just just harkening back to our Bible verses today. But that is what's going to happen. That's what has happened anywhere that socialism is taking root, communism is taking root. You can look at Venezuela. They were trying to kill him, kill that Maduro this last what was it last week or week before
Mm-hmm.
last. They were trying to kill him with a drone or something.
Yeah.
Uh, and I mean, the people are have raided the uh, zoos and ate the animals. They have went out and killed all the wild burros and all the wild donkeys that used to roam all over Venezuela. They've killed most all of those out. They've killed people's farm animals. They've killed their own pets because they're starving to death. They were one of the most prosperous countries in South America due to their oil reserves. And when the government took over, Hugo Chavez, Hollywood's best buddy,
Mm-hmm.
took over and the state took over control of all those oil refineries, all those oil rigs. Uh, what 10 years now? Since maybe 10, 15 years since he started all this garbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are starving. People cannot get anything to eat. They're fleeing the country. Their medical system has collapsed. They're trying to kill the current leader. Socialism doesn't work anywhere ever. Never has, never will. And you have to be really ignorant on purpose to still believe that garbage.
I
And
think these ignorant people should just go to one of these socialist countries and just live there for a while and try it and see how you like it before you want to bring it here.
well, no, because it's not nice there. It's not, I got easier here.
We got better free stuff here.
I'm still waiting for Rosie O'Donnell to move to Canada and Miley Cyrus and who all else was it? Whoopi Goldberg. She should have been gone a long time ago.
I wish she would go.
Uh,
Hey, I tell you, I saw. I don't mean to deviate from this conversation that we're talking about, but
right.
on kind of the same lines, the crap that they put on TV for you to watch. I don't know if you saw. Was it last week? Al Sharpton was on TV again. Him and his like $6 million owed to the IRS he hadn't paid or something.
I thought he was still in hiding.
In years. No, he was out the other day because he was at a rally down in Florida for to protest the stand your ground law because a gentleman got shot down there by a guy claiming he was standing his ground, and it was a travesty according to him. But that was the exact same week he was protesting one person in Florida being shot, and they had 72 shootings in Chicago.
Ooh.
And didn't say a single word about any of them. It's like, where's the?
It's the NRA's fault.
It is the NRA's fault because
they make guns. No, they don't make guns.
And he was probably carrying his gun in a crossbreed holster too, so it'll probably be their fault eventually.
People aren't responsible for their own choices. I have seen some reports on assault SUVs. So maybe SUVs and guns are the only two items that actually kill things on their own. The rest of the time, it's people that do it, right?
What did you see? Was it England? Yeah, it was England. Where the guy tried to drive his car into the Parliament the other day, and now the mayor over there has decided that he is going to ban vehicles
from London.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Well, it's banning, kitchen knives, and guns, and
well, you can't have a knife in England,
huh?
You can't have a knife in England.
You can't have a sharp knife. They make these dull knives now.
Is that what it is?
They don't have any points on them. They're flat on the end and rounded up. And
they just 3D print them one
halfway down the blade. Yeah,
they just go 3D print one.
Yeah, it can't be a radius anything that would cut someone's arm or finger or anything. So it has to be really small notch. You whittle somebody's finger off. That's about all you can do with it.
I tell you what, I have that one. That is not a big knife by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, if it came down to it, it doesn't matter how big it is. You get tore up with it. It's like box cutters. They ban box cutters.
Yeah. You open up a person's body for a very long period, there's a lot of blood comes out and
Yes.
other things, and so it doesn't take a whole lot of knife to do some damage, nor a lead pipe, nor a big rock, or a piece of stick.
Plus, I'm not going to take a knife to a gunfight. No way. I don't know about you.
Two guys on one. I mean, where do you end on banning? No two men can be together. No sticks over 3 inches are allowed. Yeah. No rocks over 2 pounds are allowed. We got to toss them all in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, where does this go? You can't stop it. I mean, evil is evil. Bad people do bad things, and you have to
Yes.
punish the evil person, not the good. When you start punishing the good people, then you're evil. I mean,
One of
there's a
my
Bible verse, in the Old Testament talks about, woe to people who call good things bad and bad things good. I mean, that's pretty much where we're going with this garbage.
one of my friends posted on Facebook the other day. He made a post about what's your political view. I was like, oh no, like where's this going to go? Most of it, everybody's like, Republican, conservative, blah blah blah. Then you got this one guy that chimes in, and he said he leans toward the liberal side. Guns are bad and they should be taken away from people because there's no reason for them. I'm like, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Got one. I lit him up, and he comes back on, and my buddy makes a comment. He goes, "Oh, you're going to pay for that one," on the comment. And of course, I lit him up, and several other people did too. And he comes back. He says, "Man, I'm just playing." He said, He says, "I'm a Republican, conservative. I hunt. I got plenty of guns. I was just kidding."
It's stirring up the pot.
I was like, "Dang, I thought I had one."
Yeah, it's those algorithms. Facebook is keeping everybody in their own little court, so they all think that their opinions matter.
Yeah, they banned somebody. I saw this on the news too. They had banned somebody the other day, um, because they posted a Bible verse.
Yeah,
It was terroristic.
yeah, they'll be banning mine. Probably, I post Bible verses every day on my personal page, and most days on Instagram and the God and Guns page. So we'll see if we disappear. We're over on MeWe, and I'm looking at some other options too. So
Yeah, of
if
course. Yeah, what's his name? Zuckerberg decided that he apologized because he banned them. My favorite one is, and I don't watch them. I subscribe now just because I want to see what they talk about. But the two black ladies that are what is it, Diamond and Silk, that are the conservatives, or Trump. They love Trump, and
yeah,
they are funny, and they're spot on, man, with most of the stuff they talk about too.
they're from Georgia, aren't they?
Yeah, are they
North
Georgia?
Carolina or something?
I want to say maybe Carolina. I don't think they're from Georgia.
I was saying from Georgia. Maybe they're from Carolinas.
But they were banned for being terroristic because of the stuff they talk about.
People don't want to hear it. They stick their fingers in their ears and they go, la, la, la. And there's the opposite side of that, where it says, beware of people who have itchy ears, want to hear what they want to hear, and they only listen to people that stroke their ego, right? So we got to be careful that we're making sure that we're listening to the truth, because God says things sometimes that make me want to stick my fingers in my ears, and I have to remember that He's doing it in love, and He wants the best for me, and so.
Over on YouTube, Bill said he's probably gonna get banned then too, because he posts them every so often as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're called to stand for God. We're called to point all the glory to God. We're called to be out there in the world and not hiding.
Hey, we'll all meet up in Facebook jail, which is where I stay most of the time.
How does Wendy stay out of Facebook jail?
I don't know. I have no idea.
She's 10 times more ardent than you are.
I know.
She lays into it, man.
She is definitely a Trump supporter and fan, which I got a box the other day and I opened it up. And she's like, "Oh, open it up. It's I got you a present too." It was a new Trump hat for keeping America great or something. I think it was whatever his new slogan's going to be for when he runs.
That's cool.
I'll wear it. But she wears her Trump shirt. We went to the movies the other day, and she's got her Trump shirt on, and I'm thinking, mm, uh, this is gonna be a fight somewhere. This is not going to end well. And I'm like,
You packing, Doug? You packing? You ain't got to worry about that.
well, I know. I just felt bad for the person that wanted to start, you know. But I'm thinking, you see all these Trump supporters that wear shirts and stuff, or hats, and
You
somebody's
hit by
throwing
a
a
bike
Coke in
block.
their face, or people are jumping on them and stuff. I'm like, whoever decides to jump on us because she's wearing a Trump shirt is going to be rudely awakened.
Or properly ventilated.
Yeah, properly ventilated, they will. But it's like I just people are so intolerant, man. I was going to tell you here. Check this out. So our buddy Jeff Axelson posted today. He had made a post, and this does not say where this school is at, but it's the RosevillePride.org is the website, and he posted a copy of the dress code. All right, it says the following are prohibited: tank tops, muscle shirts, spaghetti straps, um, bare midriff tops, spandex underwear as outerwear. I can understand that. Um, Inappropriate slogans and emblems, pajamas, slippers, uh, sagging pants, see through clothing, sunglasses, hats, and eye gear. And here's a good one: U.S. flag, low cut shirts, or exposed undergarments. U.S. flag. If you have a flag shirt on or a shirt with a flag, it's banned.
Yeah.
What is this world coming to, man?
It causes fights, right?
Ah,
It causes people to argue and get in fights and stuff. I don't know. Who knows? Anytime you start banning stuff and censoring stuff, it just doesn't work out well. And it always comes back to someone trying to defend their undefensible position
yeah, exactly.
that has gotten enough power that they feel they can censor, burn books, uh, tell you what you can and can't say, tell you where you can't say things at. The old the free speech zones at the college, the free speech zones at, at Ruby, well, in Ruby Ridge, at free speech zone at oh gosh, down there in what is their names? Uh, the farmers down there in Nevada.
Oh,
But
Bundy?
yeah, they have a free speech protest zone set up for them, like 2 miles from where everything was going on in the middle of the desert. Yeah, we're gonna have you free speech right here. You can't have free speech down there. You have to have it up here.
Yeah,
No, it didn't work that way, guys.
it's
If it
ridiculous.
does, then you need to be out of power pretty quick.
Yeah,
All right, so we're gonna put a cap on that on the stupidity of censorship. Anytime you can't defend your position, you're gonna try to shut them up, right?
exactly.
And so that is the game book of the communist slash socialist slash progressives. Anyone who thinks they've got enough power, they can tell you to shut up, and we're gonna put you in jail otherwise. That's what they go to. They don't try to defend their positions or their actions. They just want to shut you up and tell you what to do. That is not America.
Mm-mm.
If it becomes America, then we need to overthrow whoever is in power and put the Constitution back in charge. Because it's not about the people, it's about the Constitution is in control of our form of government.
Mm-hmm.
People can be replaced and should be when they start taking on powers they don't have and giving things they don't own away. And so we need to roll back the last 80 years of progressivism ever since FDR uh, started buying people off back in the 30s. You get people hungry because you destroy the economy. Then you make solutions that give the government more power. See a recurring theme with the Democrats? Let's create a problem, and then we'll have the solution ready, which gives us more power.
Mm-hmm.
And it works in every aspect of Democrat Party politics and some Republicans. I'm not saying it's all Democrats, but for the most part, left side of the aisle, we've got some big government Republicans, rhinos, that are in that same ilk and should be put out to pasture and not given power ever again. Once they show their stripes, then they should be never put in charge of anything again. Maybe sweeping the toilet or something like that. So that's all I got to say about that. What about you?
I'm good. I could go on this subject for a while, but
Yeah, we could rant and rave. We just people out here going, I wish they'd go on and do something else. So real quickly, we're going to run through the ways you can support the show. You can become a Patreon member. Our buddy Tim and who was on here a while ago, John, Doug Schultz, Steve Stone, Shannon Copeland, Chuck Shettle are our top contributors. We really appreciate that you guys give crazy amounts of money, and we are just very appreciative of that.
indeed.
If you want to be a Patreon supporter of the show, go to patreon.com/God and Guns, and you can sign up. Join the NRA. Oh, wait, we got patches and stickers still left. I've been selling a few here, there, and everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, our webpage all have links to our store. So if you want to do those shirts, I put that on the back burner because I just don't have the money to buy several hundred to $1,000 worth of shirts to put in inventory. And I haven't got any other company to say we're going to inventory your stuff. So until I got money to throw in the kittle for that, that's not going to happen. So join the NRA. It saves us. They send us some money that saves you $10 or more, depending on if you get a life membership or renewal or whatever. We have a link in show notes you can find on our website. Devore, DVOR, if you sign up for Devore and purchase something, they'll send us a little bit of love. Laser activated shot reporter. John, the guys have been supporting us 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
at least now. Use the coupon code GANDG and you get 10% discount. If you want to know more about what laser activated shot reporter is, you go to lasrapp.com and you can find out all about it. Our buddy Lyman Bishop is got some of the best armor in the world. Hoplite Armor is the name of the company. We're affiliate. If you will buy something or do buy something through our link, we get a little bit of love and it makes Lyman happy. So please use that link. Zija, I take every day. I take it's Moringa oleifera, which is uh, really good stuff for inflammation. It's got look it up if you want to find out more about it, or you can go to the website godandguns.myzj.com and find out more about it. Find out my story, and the rest is yours, Doug.
Crossbreed holsters. You heard Troy and I talk about our holsters. We love crossbreeds. They got anything you want. You heard Troy talk about a while ago. Bedside, in your pocket, belt. They got good belts. If you're carrying a gun, seriously, there is no better holster than a crossbreed. Troy and I both attest to that, and we wear them every day and love them. There you go.
Oh,
Troy's got one up right there.
That's
they just work. And go support our buddies at Crossbreed. Use our promo code GNG and get a discount on us when you check out. And let's see, also Axelson Tactical. Hey, Troy's got his shirt on. I got my shirt on. And I showed you my axe a minute ago. I even got it on my hat tonight too. So I got my patch up there. Precision ARs. They got custom handguns that are just off the chain. I mean, just awesome looking. They do knives. You've heard me talk about the backpack that they have that folds out to a shooter's mat, backpack, and all kind of different things. So go check these guys out. It is a tech driver, Jeff Axelson, and his family, good folks. Axelson USA, and I think Axelson Tactical actually still works as well. So either way, go check those guys out.
Interius Alliance, we are a life member of the Interius Alliance group, and They are pro-liberty, pro-military, ex-military, law enforcement, just patriotic Americans who have started their own businesses. They all work together to promote each other. It's a great concept. Great bunch of people over there. Check it out. Interius Alliance. There's a link in our show notes, or you can just Google Interius Alliance or Duck or any kind of search engine. You should be able to find them in the first couple links. Interius Alliance. Check them out. NRA Armed Citizen. Doug, what you got?
NRA Armed Citizen this week comes to us from Titusville, Florida. Police armed bystander takes down gunman at Titusville back to school event. And this is from Chip Scambless, I think is what his name is. August 11th. Titusville, Florida. An armed bystander shot a man who opened fire at a back to school event at Titusville Park after a fist fight, police said. The shooting occurred at Isaac Campbell Park in South Street shortly after 5:20 p.m. when a shooter, whom police have not identified, returned to the park after a fist fight and began firing, investigators said. A bystander who was, and it always kills me why they say this. Anyway, a bystander who was licensed to carry a firearm shot the gunman, police said. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, police said. The bystander who shot the man waited for officers and was cooperative with the investigation. We are extremely grateful that nobody else was injured in the incident, said Deputy Chief Todd Hutchison. The suspect opened fire at a crowded park. This could have been much worse. A flyer posted on Facebook and Instagram said a back-to-school event called Peace in the City was going on in the park at the time of the shooting. So, good guy with a gun who stayed around after he shot him, waited for the police. He was cooperative. Mm-hmm. Did they thank him one time for taking this dude down before it got crazy? No.
Maybe not in public though.
No.
On this forum.
No.
As the NRA says, it always takes a good guy with a gun to stop a bad guy with a gun.
Every time.
Every time.
Hey, you know what? If I was out in that, this is just me, and I'm getting a little crazy about some of this stuff now. But if I was in a park and I was not carrying, and I was at this little rally, and somebody started shooting in the crowd, do you think I would care if the guy was a licensed carry person that shot him and killed him? No, I wouldn't even ask if he had a permit. I'm like, nice shooting, Tex.
Go on, Roy. No, that's another thing. All right, so my grandfather used to get wrapped up into movies. I mean, he grew up in the 20s and 30s, and when they started having cowboy shows on, he would get so into the movie that when Roy Rogers would come up to the gate, he'd run through the gate, then go to go close the gate. My granddad would holler out, "Go on, Roy! I got the gate." Telling on my old granddad.
Hey, your granddad and my granddad were a lot alike then, because my granddad's favorite thing was gun smoke. And my daddy told him one time, he said, "You ever notice you never see them horses eat anything?" He said, "Well, they feed them horses when the commercial's on." Okay. All right, Grandpa.
Different time and era.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, my grandfather loved cowboy movies. I don't remember how many Lone Ranger and Tonto and shows we used to watch on Saturdays. Those good old days. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Send your feedback to Troy at guidinggunspodcast.com or
Doug at guidinggunspodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us and leave us an iTunes review. And like us on Facebook at facebook.com/guidinggunspodcast. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. There's a big link in our show notes, so you can just click on it. You don't have to type it in. And I'm not going to read it. Follow us on Twitter at guidinggunspod, BOD. Search for us on Instagram and search for us on MeWe, because that may be where we be. Website, it's guidinggunspodcast.com. And until next time, have a blessed week, Doug.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Good night, y'all. Who all we got left over here on the side? Bill Donovan.
Feels
Tim, is Tim still here? Tim hadn't commented in a while. And Scott Hageny. I'm butchering your name, I'm sure. Hajney. From the
Hedgeny.
People's
Hedgeny.
Republic of Kalimantan. Kalim Kalimantan.
Where is that?
We're from Kentucky. We can't pronounce anything. It's spelled hard. School uniforms. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I don't know who all is left over here, but so there's 5 of you still left. So thanks for watching. Thanks for participating and sending stuff and comment. And if any of you guys are hams, KN4 KOP and 73. All right, Doug. Anything else?
I'm good, man. Y'all have a good night.
Good night. I'm gonna shut this thing down.